Queen City News is your local election headquarters. Many North Carolinians are concerned over new regulations mandating people show an ID when voting in person or absentee. Now, they argue it's unfair and will cause a lot of people not to vote in upcoming elections. Queen City News reporter Will Lewis has more on why the group feels it's unfair and a change they hope to be able to see made before the general elections.
Groups say there needs to be an exemption for those covering their face for religious reasons or for health concerns. There's also a real concern about who will decide if a ballot is valid. The first issue, why not move the virtual hearing to a day more people would attend?
First, I am extremely upset for the fact that you would have this public comments on a national holiday, Juneteenth.
Close to 70 people attended the hearing with the North Carolina Board of Elections to voice concerns about why voters will need to show state identification when going to cast a ballot. Reviews are mixed.
Just to buy an over-the-counter nasal decongestant, I have to show a valid ID. I was really shocked to find out that just to put $1 into my own local bank savings account, I had to show a valid ID.
I heard a lot of people making comments that they had to show IDs to open a bank account or open other things, but those are not constitutional rights. That's a choice people have.
Groups like North Carolina Asian Americans Together also say there's concerns of who will verify if an absentee ballot is valid. That's even if voters can gather all the information to go with the ballot, like submitting a copy of their ID.
Many people actually don't have printers at home, especially in the rural parts of the state, and people that are socioeconomically not as well off as others may not have a printer at home. And there's also the idea of voter ID theft.
Other issues include college IDs being allowed as proper identification, and how will voters in rural areas and senior living facilities be able to get state-issued identification? Those in attendance know the NC Board of Elections will pay the cost of getting an ID, but residents will need to go to a state office to get one. Before the final draft is complete, the comments made at the hearing and in writing will be reviewed before any recommendations are made to the election board. Will Lewis, Queen City News.
Well, North Carolina voters added a photo ID requirement to the state constitution back in 2018. The issue has been tied up by a series of lawsuits, causing a photo ID not to be required in recent elections. The law now in place generally requires a photo ID to vote, but there is an exception, allowing people to vote without one if they fill out a form attesting to a reasonable impediment as to why they did not have an ID at the polls.